So only two of the spies, they came back. Joshua and Caleb came back and said, yes, it is flowing with milk and honey. Yes, there's some opposition, but we can move forward. And they came back with a favorable report. That shows me that we can look at the same thing, but see something totally different.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's why vision is so important.
Yes.
People say, oh, well, if I didn't have all these obstacles in front of me, I'm saying, I don't see any obstacles. I see some opportunities for God's grace to show up in your life. That's why it's really important the people that you hang around with, because you have people around you that have no vision for your life, for their life. How far are you going to be able to go? Right? You say, you see giants. I just remember that God parted the Red Sea and he swallowed up all of my enemies.
Yeah.
What do you see? I see myself as a grasshopper in their eyes. I see myself that God has never leave me or forsaken me. That's what I see. I'm asking you today, what do you see? What do you see? See, because vision gives direction. What you see is what you attain. And what you focus on determines what comes in your life. All right. Brace yourself. Is everyone bracing themselves? All right. You can never rise above your vision. If you don't see yourself coming out, if you don't see yourself doing that, if you don't see yourself being the head and not the tail, you will never rise above what you see for yourself. That's the reason why vision is so important.
Yeah.
We're talking about raising believers to levels of greatness. The thing is that, that's easy to say, but I have to convince you that you are going to be raised to levels of greatness. I have to get you to see yourself being great. I can't raise you to a level that you don't believe or you can't attain for yourself.
Yeah.
But you will never exceed the level which you see for yourself. I love hanging out with big people who have big dreams. I also love hanging out with my dad because my dad has big faith. I like to attach myself to him because leading up to my dad, we'll have a restoring whole campus on the moon, right? Before he even got a spaceship to go up there, but he's like, we'll figure it out on the way. But I love attaching myself and love being surrounded with people who see big things, saying, okay, they don't see themselves as see the obstacles, but they see the opportunities. You want to make sure that you surround yourself. You want to make sure that you are a person that has vision, realizing that all this stuff sounds good about what are you doing, where are you going, but if you don't able to see yourself where you're going, then what are you going to be able to do? Do you see obstacles? What do you see? So who you connect to is very, very important. And that's the reason why we're talking about this grace. Last week again, grace being released and grace being received and grace being revealed. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds okay, Pastor. I hear everything that you're saying. But if you don't have a vision for your life, that's why it's so important. Not. Yes, I see the best in people. And I talked to someone today, said, one thing I know about you is that you're always going to see the best in people. Yes, I do. But my question is, what do you see in yourself? I told somebody the other day, I can't want this more than you want it for yourself.
Yeah.
I can't have more faith for you than you have for yourself. Like I can tell you that you're going to come out. I can tell you that things are going to change. I can tell you that God wants better for you. I can tell you, but if you don't believe for yourself, if you don't see yourself having a good marriage, if you don't see yourself being successful in your job, if you don't see yourself being a good parent, if you don't see yourself coming out of debt, if you don't see your life turning around, then I'm telling you that you're absolutely right. So the question again. What do you see? What do you see for yourself? What is it that you want to accomplish? That's part 3. Number 3 is, what are you accomplishing? What are you accomplishing? Talked about earlier about having fruit. And that we should be able to see fruit in your life. And those are the areas that we want to make sure that we celebrate and say, God, I know that You were blessing this. Lord, I know I have the grace because, Lord, I see the fruit that is available to me. And many times when you ask people what they accomplish it, they always tell you what they accomplished, past tense. See, I made up in my mind that I want to live a life that matters. I made up in my mind saying, okay, God, why not me? Why can I not be someone that has a life that matters? God, I don't want to be that person who talks about like those Dallas Cowboy fans that talk about all of their past successes. I'm sorry. The Lord loves you. Yeah. I don't want to talk about what I accomplished. 10 years ago, back in my heyday, I did win that Super Bowl in 1935 now. What are you happy? Because football is moving forward today. Shout out to Anthony Hayes, he's a Cowboy fan, and Pastor Day as well. And yes, brother. Make sure you guys stay after for prayer. What are you accomplishing? What are you doing right now? What are you accomplishing right now? We serve a God that's progressive, always moving forward. We serve a God that is not, that yes, well, God, I want to thank you for all the things that you've already done. And God said, okay, but I'm still wanting to do a new thing. So we talk about scripture that you can't put new wine in old wine skins. And that's the thing that many times we're trying to dump all this. God saying, okay, the grace that I'm trying to give you is for your next assignment, not for an old assignment. It's like this grace doesn't fit in my old wine skin. That's like David trying to put on armor, the armor that does not fit him. Yeah. What are you accomplishing? What is it that you're doing? I know Peter wrote this, says, but we are a chosen generation. We can add that by grace. We are a royal priesthood. By grace. We are a holy nation. Well, we read it earlier, by grace, because they have to teach us to be holy. We are a peculiar people by grace. It says that we should show forth the praises of him who has called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. Why bring you into the light for you not to accomplish something with you being in the light? Why be a ministry says that we're going to equip you for the work of the ministry for you to do nothing? Doesn't make any sense. The thing is, you just, it's not just, okay, tell me what to do. You just need to show up and understand what God has graced you to do. So there's so many different ways that we can waste grace. Whenever we do not avail ourselves to the fullness of God's provision, we waste grace. And his grace has abundantly provided for all of our needs, whatever we may need to accomplish his will. We know that grace is provided. When we're not willing to grow through what we go through, we waste grace. You have to be willing to grow through what you go through. People say, oh, Pastor Ray, I wish I could be like you. You preach with so much passion and all this stuff. I said, I'm just preaching for where I'm in right now. I'm just being, I'm not preaching to any of you. I'm preaching to myself. Amen. You have to be willing to grow through what you go through. And many times people get stuck saying, okay, I'm in this season. I don't like the season. But there's a lesson that needs to be learned. Yeah. What are you accomplishing? Right? Another, for the sake of time, Lisa, you want to start making your way over here? Because now I'm going to preach until Monday Night Football. Daniel chapter 3, you should go back and read it. We talk about the fiery furnace, right? We know for the sake of time, I want to tell you about that. We know that the whole Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we know that. We've heard it so many times. But now I'm going back and rereading the Word of God with this word grace on my mind. So we know that they refused to worship any other gods. We knew that the king bound them and then threw them into the furnace. It says then he goes to see them and he's confused on why after throwing 3 in, he's like, why do I see 4? And why does that 4th look like the Son of God? So he tells them to come out. In Daniel chapter 3, verse 26, it says, Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, Come out, come here. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. This is why I've been telling you about pursuing peace with everyone. Because there's going to be some situations that some people have thrown you in the fire. Are going to be the same ones you see when you come out of the fire.
Come on, preacher.
But I want to ask you, can you stand the heat? You say, but it's not fair. God, I was doing what you told me to do. Why, after doing what I told you to do, why is it that you're throwing me in the fire? You say that the fire is not for you. But I knew I could trust you to go through like a good soldier. I knew they threw you in, but the same people who threw you in are the same ones who got to call for you to come out, and I want them to see what I look like in the flesh and what it looks like to have a relationship with me. That's the plan, that's the purpose. Verse 27, it says that in the satraps and the prefects, governors, and the royal advisors crowded around them. They saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair on their head singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. See, that the Lord loves to deliver you in it. In it. You say, God, I just need you to take it away. No. My grace is sufficient. I can deliver you while you are in it. I can sustain you while you are in it. I can preserve you while you are in it. I can take care of you while you are going through it. I can take care of you while you are in it.